everyone, and welcome to the Raw Vegan Guru channel, where we are raising our health consciousness. So today I thought I'd do a video on back stretches for back pain, back spasms. If you ever tweak out your back and you are trying to find relief, there are some ways to naturally do that through breathing and through stretches. So we're not going to be doing a full-out calisthenics routine today, but we're really just going to focus on letting the body fall into its own motion, its own position through us listening and also helping to stretch and maybe even bring things into alignment that otherwise were in disarray. So how I begin this stretch routine is I get on my hands and knees, and I kind of have a V here in my legs, and I bring my back feet together to come into like child's pose. Hands forward. During this whole stretch, it is so important to focus on the breath and your inhalation and your exhale. Your inhalation, you're going to be able to stretch a little bit further, and your exhale, you're going to bring that relief. While I'm doing this, with each breath, I'm going to try to just reach a little forward just to feel the stretch, but not push myself. Now, I suggest doing each of these stretches for about 5 minutes. I sometimes will do them for a little bit longer because I just find myself really being in a relaxed position, and my breathing just kind of really centers me, and I know that the inner work is happening for my muscles. Because what I suffer from is, not all the time, I've just had it throughout my life. Once in a while, I had an injury and it's back spasms in one specific location. So sometimes that gets out of whack and it gets strained. Or perhaps also there's variables like acidity from outside forces, things that I can't control. And also it's so important to keep in check with our emotional state and our inner harmony. And balance and self-love, because if we get stressed or we fall into any lower frequency setting, then our body can actually speak to us and let us know, get back to it, buddy, brother and sister. Then I'm going to come to a tabletop position. Again, everything I'm doing, I'm coming into it so gently and so smoothly. I know that I'm doing a little fast forward here for video purposes, and I do apologize because I know we could do this routine a lot longer and it'd feel a lot better. But I just wanted to give you guys an overview. So now in the tabletop, I'm going to, with my breathing, I'm pulling up my back. You can see in that kind of mountain U. And then I'm exhaling, and I'm bringing my chest and my stomach as far down as I can. While I'm doing this, it's also important my neck position and head position with my chin. So it's in, chin is to the chest on my inhale. Exhale. My neck, my chin, my head, up. Inhale. Once you start really focusing on that breath and feeling the stretch, it really becomes very fluid, and it's very relieving, rather instantly. Now from there, I'm going to come up on my toes, my front pad and toes on my feet, again, very gently and slowly. Sometimes I've had to do it like this. Today I'm a little bit better off, so I'm just going to come up. My feet are going to be about 3 inches apart here, but they're pretty close. I'm going to try to make a V best I can. It does not have to be perfect. And I'm going to come down and then stretch my back with my chin, my head facing upward toward the ceiling. Inhalation. Back to V. Exhale to an almost U shape. You can also come to the U shape and hold, keeping with your breath. And really feeling that stretch. I usually do about a 7-second count in between each. Then I'm going to come back up to end this, drop to my knees, very gently back into the child pose like. Okay, now I'm going to come to my back, nice and easy. I'm breathing to kind of lower my back to try to be as flat as it can with the ground. And the one area that you can really focus on is right here in between the top of the buttocks region and the lower back, where it kind of sits up. When you focus on that area, leveling and flattening with the ground, that is a great little exercise to really align your body and calm. It really is an achievement to be able to lower that down because it's always at that curve. So that's something I like to do often enough. So just remind me of that. So now we're going to bring our knees up to our chest gently. We're just going to kind of let the weight of our arms and hands here pull down. As I'm exhaling, I can bring it in just a little bit more and really feel that stretch. Lower there and all the way to the lower back. That is really nice. So of course, I'm going to come to my other leg. You know, you come into the flow with your breathing when you do these stretches, but sometimes in the beginning, I like to just take deep, long, almost exaggerated breaths. It really feels like I'm releasing so much more. That's not the proper fluidity during these stretches, but just in the beginning, kind of get it out there. It's like a little breathing scream, like, whoa. All right, now I'm going to bring both legs up to the chest, get together, and I'm going to raise my chin and my head toward my knees, the best that I can, the closest I can get, but I'm not going to strain such a sensitive, fragile region. So let's keep this nice and easy. Now I'm going to try to rock a little. I'm just going to let my body weight kind of rock. This is going to not only stretch your back and roll the muscles and kind of help them to be adjusted and maybe not as tight and stiff in their place that they're holding on to when you have back pain or muscle spasm. And what's interesting is there are points on the spine. You may know this, but I found out and I was blown away. I was double take. But now it all makes sense. So there are points on the spine that you're able to trigger that are connected to different regions of your body and organs. And I found that out through Dr. Bragg's health fitness book, which was a game changer. I've read that book and looked at that book and highlighted that book so much that if it was a VHS tape, like let's say Back to the Future, it would already have been stretched and snapped, and I'd be scotch taping it back together because that's how much I've used it. So he has these stretches, and they are just so amazing when you actually feel that sensation of hitting these vital points on the spinal column. So from this roll, as you can see, it's not perfect. I'm not perfectly in a line falling because the spinal column sometimes pushes your body just side to side. So you can really focus, and with rhythm, you can hit it in a straight line, but sometimes it's going to be a little off like that, you know, just a little bit. Come back into it, let it go naturally. Okay, so I'm going to bring my legs back down, so I'm kind of like a stiff plank. I'm going to bring in my knee like the original stretch, and I'm going to bring my foot over to my knee. I'm going to bring my hand out straight from my shoulder line, and with my other hand, I'm going to gently guide my knee as far as I can go to the ground. Now I can go to the ground, but you might stop right here where you say, oh, I can't go past there. Then don't. Just go right to the point where it feels comfortable and you are not pushing. So then you're going to turn your head and your chin toward your arm that's stretched out. Your deep breathing. So as I'm doing this stretch, I just feel my spine twisting and being stretched in a relieving, positive, energetic state. So again, other leg, I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to bring my knee toward me with my breathing, which I'm not doing because I'm talking. Again, foot over to the knee. No, it doesn't have to touch it. It just is going to be a guide for a reference point. And then I'm going to bring my knee over, my arm out. We know this. We've all done some intro to yoga courses. I'm not inventing you know, the wheel. I'm just telling you I put nice fresh air into the tube, and I'm rolling that wheel. All right, I'm going to come back again. Finish that stretch. Okay. Then I'm going to come to my meditative pose position, because I always feel right in place doing this. Okay? Then I'm going to take one arm, my hand, and I'm going to place it against my knee, and my other hand and arm I'm going to place behind me, kind of centered to my back, like straight, and I'm going to just stretch over like I'm looking over my shoulder. And again, you can feel your spine giving that twist, and that is really nice. Your spine doesn't always get this really enjoyable treatment. Hand to the knee, arm, as far as you can get it over. You might only be able to get over here, and that's that's straining. That's fine. All of these are just reference points for what we're trying to achieve, but you're going to be able to get somewhere if you bring different measurements into it. You know, it does not have to be one way or no way. There are all ways. There might be some things that you can tell me, and then I can incorporate that into these motions that I didn't know that change the game, or do the same thing but make it easier. So from there, now I'm going to take my arms and I'm going to raise them up, and I'm going to focus on my breathing again. And as I'm breathing, I'm raising higher. I'm going to breathe in, and as I exhale, I'm going to come forward. I'm going to plant my hands as far forward as I can, and I'm going to drop my head and my chin in toward the front of my chest, but I'm going to let it just drop naturally. I'm going to continue my breathing from this position, and I'm going to hold it. And that's how I'm going to end my back pain stretch routine. And I really can feel, even from doing those simple motions, the blood coming into that area, and I feel a lot better than when I began. But that also might be because I did 3 takes of this, because I learned from some mistakes. Like a fan in the background doesn't sound like nothing, it sounds like so that wasn't good. So thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that this video has helped you with your back strains, your back spasms. It's a great soft opening to a really bad back situation. Sometimes you'll be locked up and you can't move, and your back is in so much pain you think that it's best to take aspirin or a pharmaceutical to relieve the symptoms. But the truth is, you really want to get to the root of any problem in your body, and there is a natural solution, and there is a frequency and vibration that you can basically catch and align yourself with and connect, so that you are going to be working in harmony with the body so it can heal, and you won't be giving it any resistance. Because even if we have thoughts that are negative, such as, oh, my back hurts, and then somebody says, oh, you should do stretching, and you say, oh, no, that's not going to work for me, no, it hurts too much, I can't, or I take this pill and it helps. You're basically saying to the universe, I am giving resistance against all flow, and I am not believing in a higher truth, which is that we are given the power to do everything. So let's tap into that a little through our daily actions and our thoughts, and it all begins with fruit. So thank you so much for joining me. Please leave any comments or questions you may have below. Please subscribe and check me out on my other social media platforms. Blessings and gratitude. Have a good one. Bye.